What's happening? What's happening, people? Glad you guys can tune in with me today. You know, what we're gonna do for the pre-game smoke. The pre-game smoke. I'm doing a CAO pylon. This is not. Okay. There we go. I'm not doing the Añejo pylon. This is just the normal CAO pylon. It's box press. Uh, Wonderfully constructed cigar. Great amounts of oil on the tobacco, on the leaf. Um, Based on a cold draw. Let me stop. Let me tell you what a cold draw is. A cold draw is when you clip the edge, and what you're going to do is you're going to take it in as if you're actually smoking on the cigar. And some of the notes that you get out of that cold draw is going to be the notes that you receive when you light it up. Now, based upon my cold draw synopsis of this, I'm getting um, hints of chocolate, a little bit of richness to it, and it's going to be more of a dark chocolate more than anything else. Um, small hints of oakiness, um, and that's on the cold draw. So let's see what we got. And what a lot of people do, and as some people toast their cigars, which means that they will light it, blow through it, and allow for it to create that bit of an ash to it around it, and then they'll let it sit for a second, and then they'll relight it, and then that way it gives them a true situation of what they're going to be looking forward to on it. Some people do it, some people don't. A lot of people don't, you know. So that's the definition of a cold draw. Based upon based upon this, I'm going to give this a medium to full. Uh, you have small notes of spice in it, and that's on the light up. You're gonna have small notes of spice on it. Definitely gonna have that chocolate, that dark chocolate type of feel to it, and you're gonna have a little bit of a boldness to it that kind of presents itself as you take it in. What I did is I retrohaled. If you don't know what retrohaling is when you take in your smoke and you blow roughly about 70 to 80% of the smoke out, and that very last bit of smoke that you have, you allow for it to trickle through your nose. And what'll happen is that that's another way that you'll be able to take on some of the notes and flavors that it is. Now, please don't try it. Don't do this if you're not used to doing that, because what will happen is that you you normally don't inhale cigars. Um, you just take the smoke in, let it hit the back of your palate, your taste buds, and then you release it. More seasoned people, what they'll do is they will, because it's about flavor, what they will do is they will take in the smoke, let that last little bit of smoke come through, and trickle through their nose. And that way you can get just a true evaluation of what it is that you're smoking. As far as your notes, the complexion of the cigar, the body of the cigar, the strength of the cigar, the pepper of the cigar, whether it's black pepper, white pepper, whatever spice that they put to kind of ferment these into the filler binder. all of that. Sun growns. Sun growns have a tendency to be a little bit peppery, a little spicy. Um, so you have to identify what it is that actually you enjoy. And once you identify what it is that you enjoy, is when you can make a sound decision on what it is that you want to partake in. Um, this is an extremely decent cigar. Price range is going to be anywhere between 10 to maybe 12 bucks. So it's not an expensive cigar, but it's a really good cigar. If you want to sit back and enjoy yourself, you won't have a problem with it. If you are used to something that's a little bit bolder, you might think that this might be a little light for you. But all I say is really just give it time and allow for yourself to just sit back and embrace smoke, you know. So that's my 2 cents on that. I do a lot of different reviews, a lot of different cigars. And I've tried several cigars, that's in my catalog. Um, so I can really dictate and kind of guide you towards something that you're looking for. If you want something that's going to be fruity, flavorful, uh, that type of deal, there are several lines out there. If you're looking for something that's stout, bold, shows a presence, then there's some out there for that. If you're looking for some that is just going to be very refined, very exquisite, very upscale, then you're going to have lines for that. Uh, if you're looking for something that has an infusion in it, it has a sweet taste to it, then you're going to have a bunch of them out there for that. What I try to do is I try to like my catalog, and I try to remember my catalog and remember the taste that I got from that. And there are going to be some cigars that stick out. They stick out, and they're gonna hit you off the rip. They're gonna be like, bam, you need to know my name. You need to remember me. And you're gonna have those. But as far as it's gonna be a lot of trial and error. It's gonna be a lot of stuff that you're gonna try. I don't like. I'm not that keen on. It's good. Will I spend my money on it? You're gonna have those. You know. So identify what it is that you're actually looking for. Understand that this culture is all about you having the opportunity and time for you to relax, relate, release. And that's what it's about. Opportunity to sit back, network, talk smack, talk sports, talk politics, relationships, everything. This is what this offered to you. Because one thing about it, when a person sits back and understands the complexity of a cigar and they can expound on that, people have a tendency to look at you and like, okay, all right, this guy has really taken on this concept and follow through with it, And then when you recommend something to someone and they turn around and they say, hey man, listen, because of your recommendation, this is now one of my go-to smokes. That means a lot to me because I love to educate, inform, and present things that people may have never tried, they didn't know anything about. If they're going to be a part of this culture, they need to be a part of this culture all the way around. So that's what that is about. If you get an opportunity to try it, CAO Pylon, Pilon. Medium smoke, great flavor, good with coffee, good with anything I would say light, anything light. So, from that note, what we're going to do is we're going to get into the second part of this. The second part of this is going to be What about them dogs? Listen, this weekend was an exciting weekend. It was an exciting weekend. Some people barely made it through. They made it through with on the hair on their chin. Some people didn't make it through. You know, you had 2 versus 3, which at that point you knew at some point in time someone was going to fall on that. Um, you had Ole Miss lost a game to LSU, man. That was a battle. That was a good game. That was a good game. So once again, I take my hat off to these kids, man. They showed that they're resilient, and they played, a good team. They played a good team. They played a lot better than they did the Alabama game. Kudos to Alabama for winning that game. I mean, I'm a Georgia fan all the way through, but at the end of the day, they did enough to take the win. So we'll see them again, maybe, because they got to play Ole Miss. They got to play a lot of them different teams, and we got a barn burner next week. So we playing Texas. We playing number 1 Texas, and that's going to be a dogfight. But I got confidence that them boys they're gonna bring it through. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna bring it through. They're gonna show who they are and what they're made of, and they're gonna come through and they're gonna play it. They're gonna play hard. All I'm looking for is really I want a hard game, a good game. I don't want the game to be decided by the refs or anything like that. We're gonna go into the next part, and you know what we're talking about. Them dirty birds. Them birds. They listen. I'm impressed. I still think that we got a couple of more pieces that we need, and strictly we need that on the defensive side. If we were able to pick up, Amari Cooper or something like that, that's not going to cost us a lot, but we can come in and kind of give us that extra added, because at that point, who are you going to defend? I think it will open up the offense all the way through. But it would be good to get another defensive lineman. I know we got our guy back, the linebacker back, so that should start to impress and change a little bit format of how our defense is running. But pound for pound, we want to be able to come in, show our dominance on the defensive side, show our dominance on the offensive side, and don't do dumb penalty plays. Remain focused for 60 minutes. 60 minutes is what it is. And you keep your foot on their neck. Keep your foot on their neck. And to show you what is going to be my next smoke after the Falcons win this game, I'm going to go to an old school. And this is one that has been in my top 10 for a very long time. Very long time. I wouldn't recommend it as one of the first cigars in the morning, but you got some people that can do it. Me personally, it's just a little too stout for me in the morning. And that's the Diamond Crown Maximus. And if any one of you guys have had this, they will let you know. It's a massive cigar. It's a massive cigar. The Toro number 4. Toro number 4. This is made by Fuente. Fuente makes this for Diamond Crown. This is a deep, dark, rich chocolate cigar. Definitely going to get body. Definitely going to get something that's heavy, that's bold, and it's going to present itself in a manner that is just crazy. So if you get an opportunity to try it, I'm trying to get it out the sun so you can see it. Can't do it. There we go. It's Diamond Crown Maximus. Um, so let's go Falcons. Do your thing. We got Carolina today. You know, if we win this game, we'll be 3-0 in the division. 3-0 in the division. And we got Tampa and New Orleans playing also. So that's going to determine who kind of, it's going to give us some separation. If Tampa loses, it's going to put us basically almost 2 games up. If Tampa wins, it'll only put us 1 game up. You know, so I can't say I'm going to root for the Saints, and I can't say I'm going to root for the Buccaneers. So, you know, whichever way it folds, it folds. But hey, I got confidence in my team to go out there and do what they got to do. Now, we're going to get to the third part of this conversation. And this is going to be a little bit deeper, you know. This is going to be a little deeper. And what I mean by that is we have to position ourselves. We got to position ourselves. You know, there's a lot of people out here that don't have your best interest at heart. You got some people out here that will attempt to manipulate you, use you, take advantage of you, and then gaslight you to make you feel like you're the reason why they're doing it, whatever they're doing. Stand firm on what it is, on your beliefs. But stand firm on the belief of knowing that the belief that you're standing on is the appropriate one. Because we can get caught up based upon our feelings, and we say it so many times that we believe it ourselves. But then you don't get good sound results out of that. So we have to understand and identify what is appropriate for the growth of me. What is appropriate for the growth of you. You know, these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves, and we got to come up with an answer. We do. We got to come up with an answer. We just can't sit back and say, oh well, I do this because it's just how I feel. But you don't look at how many people you're damaging based upon your feelings. Make it make sense. You know, you don't care about anybody else but yourself. So if someone else comes to you with that same type of attitude, you want to look at them wrong. Oh, they wrong for doing that. They wrong for feeling this kind of way. They're wrong for thinking this of me. Now, I've talked about judgment. Judgment is not set for a person to come in and to identify, hey, I'm just gonna judge you. I'm just gonna judge. I'm just so particular to the point where it's nothing that you can do is right or wrong. However you put it. Judgment is being able to identify that there's a problem first with yourself. Because before you can go and judge anyone, you need to judge yourself. And really, it's not your place to judge. What you have to do is if you come across someone and they're doing something that might not necessarily be something that you enjoy doing or something that you want to partake in, then you make a conscious decision to say, hey, whatever you're doing, if you want to continue to keep doing it, that's on you. But understand that for myself, that's not something that I feel comfortable in allowing. So therefore, I cannot deal with that decision. And you got to be firm about it. You know, I think a lot of times, we try to sit back and compromise on things that we shouldn't compromise on. Morality should never be an issue that we compromise on. Love, if you love a person, should never be an issue that you compromise on. It shouldn't be. Um, we can get caught up in a lot of different things. We can get caught up in a lot of different things, and we can try to throw judgment in based upon that particular situation. It doesn't mean that it's going to benefit you, but it can definitely put you in the wrong direction. It can put you in the wrong direction. It can definitely put you in the wrong direction. So please be aware of when you're trying to judge someone based upon an opinion and it's not based upon helping a person, making a person, or identifying to a person that these are issues of concern and they can hinder you. I have conversation with a lot of people, and people might think that I might be opinionated about certain situations. Um, I just have a standard and a guideline that I go by, and that standard and that guideline that I go by is something that I work hard on day to day. I work hard on day to day to be. I strive to be a good man. I strive to be a good person. I strive to be a good friend. I strive to be a good partner. I strive to be a good son. I strive to be a good father, worker, employee. I strive to know that my word means something. If I say that I'm gonna do something, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Um, and I take on the responsibility if something doesn't go the way that it was supposed to try to make it right. Um, I was raised to the point whereas stand on your character. That's a lot. We don't do that anymore. We don't stand on we don't stand 10 toes down like they say. A lot of people don't stand. They don't do that. They don't. They say it. It sounds good, but do they apply it? Do they apply standing 10 toes down and understanding what that concept means? The concept of standing 10 toes down means that it doesn't matter who benefits from it, long as it's the right decision based upon the dynamics of your family. I'm going to make the best decision or try to make the best decision for my family, for the people that I love, for my friends, the people that I sit here and I share my time with. That's an important for me. It's important for me. So I really want to become a better individual so that when my father, my maternal father, looks at me, he's proud. And when my spiritual father looks at me, he can say, kudos. I appreciate everything that you have stood for, the honor, the loyalty, the legacy that you are attempting to provide, the structure that you're trying to provide for your family. And that's what it's about. To me, that's what it's about. So please, let's do some self evaluation. Let's do some self evaluation. Let's do some evaluation to the point where we are moving towards better opportunity. better growth, better understanding, better love, better parenting, better employee. If you're an employer, become a better employer. Let's work hard on these things. We got to make the change. We got to make the change. We got to do what we got to do. What we got to change this narrative that's going around through social media, through all the different things that are out there. We got to change this narrative. We got to, because it's on us. You know, enjoy. I enjoy spending my time with you guys. I enjoy having conversation with you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, join, anything that I got out there. Sign up to it. We're gonna retouch. We're gonna try to do the uh, uh, the shells and smoke event, where we're gonna go down to a friend of mine's uh, outdoor range, and we're gonna do a day event. We're looking at about 15 people that want to come out, enjoy being in the outdoor range. Uh, we're gonna have food. We're gonna have conversation, and we're gonna have smokes. So, you know, we're looking for 15 people to do it, and based upon the attendance and the people that want to do it, we'll set the terms of how often we will do it. That's one thing that we got going on. Another thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do the easel and smoke event. And so what that is we're going to put together a group of people, 15 to 20 people, that want to sit back, do some cigar art, draw, paint, do whatever it is. And we're going to sit back and we're going to have a conversation about what it is that inspired them to do that, over a conversation, over some spirits and a smoke. We got a lot of things lined up. Holla at your boy. Check me out. Lifestyle, Leaf and Famous.